We are going. That's all you need to know. And I think everybody knows that by now. Welcome to LAFC Plus episode 58. He is Mario Ruiz. I'm Dave Denholm. We are the radio broadcast team on the English-speaking side for LAFC. And Mario, it was a pleasure to make the call of that match. Wow, we're going to the Club World Cup because we beat Club América at BMO Stadium 2-1 the final. We usually look ahead a lot on this show, and we will coming up, but I got to tell you, we got to relive what was an amazing night at BMO Stadium, an amazing victory. There's no superlative that's too much, really, on that night. How are you, buddy? Have you come down from the high yet?
Oh, come on, Dave. Never. I don't think I'm ever going to come down from that historic night. I'm still buzzing about it. And Dave, I mean, honestly, this is how rivalries are born organically. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it feels like we're forcing this Liga MX versus MLS. We're trying to force this rivalry sometimes. But LAFC versus Club América, this is what Liga MX and MLS need to grow that rivalry. A really big, meaningful game like that one. Big matches like the CONCACAF matches, those type of games is what the two leagues need to grow this rivalry. You know, two of the biggest clubs here in the CONCACAF region, LAFC and Club América going at it. And I think it's really just kind of like the beginning, you know, of something that can really grow into really something really powerful and really just a big rivalry that would be great for both sides, not only for LAFC and Club América, but for both leagues.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think that's these are the kind of matches that will do that, no doubt. And it was that kind of night at BMO. You had one corner of the stadium or one side of the stadium all yellow, one side black and gold, plenty in between of both, you know, because look, we talked about it. FIFA did not want this. CONCACAF doesn't want this to become strictly an LAFC home game, obviously. You know, that's not fair either. Right. So certainly it was not. Make no bones about that. Club América was certainly well represented. They had plenty of fan support. There's no excuse there. They came in. They were supported when they came into LA. There was crowds waiting for them at the hotel, you know, and just certainly not adversarial crowds like sometimes you see where, you know, people are trying to keep you up at night or anything. Like these were like, welcome. We love you, Club América. You know, it's like their second home in Los Angeles. And they're certainly comfortable with BMO Stadium playing there in February, when we had the friendly there that ended up 2-1, by the way, LAFC. Yeah. So this one certainly had a lot more riding on it, obviously. A trip to the Club World Cup, Mario.
Yep.
Again, what a night. Just what a win. But the funny part about it is this game is so fickle in a way, like soccer, right? And it just hangs on the balance when you're at this level.
Especially these games that feel like finals. These ones are really fickle.
Exactly. This is not a case where, you know, you're going to some 10-year-olds tournament where one team's going to win 32-0, right? This is like, obviously. Right. So, and I'm joking there, but it's going to be close. So everything hangs on just a thread in professional sports most of the time. Now, there's some blowouts along the way. We saw it with Vancouver and Cruz Azul. We saw it in the Champions League in Europe, the final 5-0 in both those games. That's so rare. Wow. So you knew it was going to be tense. It was going to be tight. And here's the thing. LAFC ties it in the 89th minute, Mario. If Igor Jesus clips the post on that header or just misses a little bit, it goes off the top of his head and over the bar maybe, where he had a good, you know, all of a sudden Club América, whoa, they win, they go. But here's the thing. LAFC get that goal. They win it late with Denis Bouanga because they deserved it. They were the better team. That's my point. Even if they, like, we don't, you know, even if Jesus' header goes off the bars, LAFC were the better team.
Oh, yeah. Or even if one of those 3 shots on goal from Olivier Giroud, if one of those goes in, then we're talking about a totally different scoreline, of course. Olivier played a tremendous game. If one of those goals goes in, it's a whole nother ball game.
True. And it could have been 4-1. Absolutely. But that's the thing about these games that are so tight, so tense, that it just takes inches sometimes, and that's the way it goes. Look at, you know, and everybody's saying, like, Club América had no chances. Yeah, LAFC held them down. They were the better team, but they had some chances. Diego Valdez on a free kick, you know, when it's left off to him by Rodriguez. Rodriguez on a counterattack misses by inches. Now, he didn't put it on frame, Unfortunately, we've seen that out of Brian Rodriguez in the past at times. That that it happens to anybody. But
I want to talk about the nerve of Club América to put Brian Rodriguez to put that PK. They put him on the spot there, knowing that he was a former LAFC player. Yeah. He did his thing. Of course, he's going to do his thing. Rajito solid like that, but that's Club América for you.
He didn't really celebrate it that hard either, if you notice. He was respectful.
No, of course.
He was respectful. I mean, look, it's a big goal. Could have been the one that led them to the Club World Cup, and maybe even changed his life in a lot of ways, because now there's rumors that he's not sticking around Club América. What if they would have won? Maybe he sticks around to go to the Club World Cup with them. Maybe. I mean, it changes his life.
Maybe he's in the Club World Cup with another team now.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. He's got rumors flying around. Who knows by the time this thing rolls around. So it's inches, and that's in personal lives for the players now. They get to, one team gets to go and gets to represent and gets to celebrate it, and one team doesn't. But boy, that defense of the black and gold, tight game, not much separating the teams other than LAFC was the better team, but the LAFC's defense was just so good. It really was.
Yeah, and that's what keeps LAFC. That's what keeps LAFC in a lot of games all season long, all year long, and all the different tournaments that they're in, is that strong back line, the strong Turundolo defense, led by, of course, Hugo Lloris, and then by the captain, Aaron Long, of course, and just the guys that are always back there. Sergi Palencia, who we always talk about should be an all-star. He had an incredible header, deflected it out of bounds. That could have been a big chance for Club América late in that game. That was huge. But yeah, just that defense is always there. You can always lean on that. When the goals aren't there, they'll keep you in that game. And actually, Dave, before we get going too far along, I want to celebrate that historic win. I want to give out, let's give out a pair of tickets to LAFC versus Sporting KC this Sunday at BMO Stadium. Just right off the bat, before we get going too far along into this, I want people to just give us a story of how you guys celebrated. How did you celebrate that win? Club América, LAFC, whether you were at the stadium, whether you were on TV, let us know how you did. Because for me, I'll let you know how I celebrated. When LAFC went up and they were about to win the game, I went and hugged our radio engineer, Mike Dooley. Now, I never get close to him like that, but I just looked at him straight in the eyes and I just gave him a hug, and he hugged me back, and we were just celebrating. It was just awesome. And then afterwards, I was like, wow, I just hugged Mike Dooley, celebrating.
Yeah, sure. Tremendous.
But it was awesome. So everybody just give us your best celebration. What did you do? What was your story when you guys knew that LAFC was winning that match? And hit us up on YouTube. Leave the comment on YouTube and we'll pick the best one.
Go to the LAFC page. That's where LAFC Plus lives. Find the show. If you don't listen to it normally or watch it on YouTube, find the show at LAFC, the LAFC YouTube page. Go to LAFC Plus, episode 58. That's us. Leave a comment. Listen to some. Find it. Listen to the show there if you want. Leave a comment. Give us the thumbs up. That's huge. And leave a comment, and also subscribe, and you can possibly win these tickets to the upcoming game coming up Sunday. In case you're listening at a later time, maybe this is Sunday, June 8th against Sporting Kansas City, a 6:00 game at BMO there for that one, a makeup, if you will, because we moved this game to get ready for the Club World Cup, and boy, was it worth it. All the moving around games if you have to. Yes. And amen. It was worth it to give LAFC that full week to get ready. Right. And kudos to the coaching staff. They pushed all the right buttons, Mario. This was a team that really played well, even down a goal, let's be honest. I mean, it's not easy in these type of matches that are just do or die, even though you only down a goal. But when you give up that first goal in the 64th minute, it wasn't the 4th minute. Yeah. There can be times where teams just, they just can't get it back. They can't recover, not even so much to score right away, but they give up a goal quickly again, and we've seen that happen to LAFC at times. Doesn't happen too often, but, you can fall apart, frankly. And we saw it with the Champions League, both Champions finals, Champions League in Europe, Champions Cup in CONCACAF with Cruz Azul at their home place up in Mexico, or down in Mexico City, taking on Vancouver. You fall apart. You can't. And LAFC, to their credit, played better after they gave up the goal to Brian Rodriguez on the penalty, Mario. So they didn't hang their heads. That's coaching too. Just kept going. You knew you had time. Didn't have a lot of it, but you knew you had time. And boy, they waited to the 89th. I got to play these cuts, Mario. I was I went nuts. As we all know, I have a tendency to do. This is our play-by-play. This is me making the call on 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app, which you listen to these games, which is great. Here, first of all, is the 89th minute goal to tie it. We're trailing 1-0.
Here comes the in-swinger from Denis. Delivers a good ball, back post, knocked out, headed in! It's a goal! It's Igor Jesus to tie it! It's 1-1! Jump for LA Football Club, ole! Ole! And just like we talked about, LAFC needed something on the corner, and they get it! Denis to Igor Jesus, and in, it's 1-1! Come on, black and gold, we got time here!
Yes, we do!
Denis Bouanga to Igor in the 6th, and he buried it!
Sweating through my shirt by this.
Could not keep it out. LAFC have tied it 1-1.
Game on, baby.
I lost my way after this. You'll hear the next one, the game-winning goal, 115th minute, right? Well, we'll talk about it afterwards. Here it is, the Denis Bouanga game winner that sends us to the Club World Cup.
Gets it touched away by DeRozan, but wins it back. Back to Segura, still well up into the attack. 115th minute. Short ball there, Jesus, near midfield, out of Segura. Denis, nice run. Amaya, top of the area, Giroud. To Denis, shoots it in! Denis has scored! It's 2-1, LAFC! Oh, jump for LA Football Club, ole! Ole! LAFC are leading 2-1! Oh, the celebration at BMO! It's a late goal! Are LAFC going to go to the Club World Cup? Oh my goodness, they lead 2-1! Denis Bouanga with the goal! Set up by Olivier Giroud and Frankie Amaya! Brian Rodriguez could only shake his head at midfield! Amaya with the ball to Giroud, who just left it for Denis, who one-timed it in! The ball deflected off the defender and beat Balogun to the near post. LAFC 2, Club América 1.
Yes.
Still goosebumps, I got to be honest with you. Just not because of, obviously, forget the call. It's just what it meant, just we won. We did it. Oh, man.
And the play from Giroud there, that's the touch there. He could have easily fumbled that and maybe just got in the way or something. But he knew just to settle it and leave it and back off. I mean, Giroud just had another really brilliant game from Giroud. Deserved the goal, like I said earlier, but just all over the place. I remember he kind of like did like a sprint for a header that was up in the air in the box. I don't know if you remember that play.
Oh, yeah.
It was up in the air. It was sky high. He sprinted over there, and he was the one that got his head on it. When he was like one of the furthest players from the ball, and it went to LAFC. So just little things like that Olivier does that just shows what kind of class he has in the touch and the passing from Olivier.
And a bicycle kick that turned out was going to be offside anyway or whatever. Didn't count, or it was a foul on the player. So Balogun would have made the save probably, but from the top of the area, like that, how much this guy was working. Olivier wanted it. Everybody wanted it. It meant something. It meant a lot. Hugo Lloris was going crazy celebrating. I mean, everybody, like the whole bench, we saw Steve Cherundolo and the staff go racing down the sideline, sprinting down the sideline at BMO Stadium to go celebrate. You don't see that too often, right? Most managers.
No, you don't.
It's not every game that, or even big games, you don't often see that. But this was bigger than big, and that goal was bigger than big. And who, of course, but Denis Bouanga. Got to give him a shout out, Mario, for one reason. First half, Kevin Alvarez, Israel Reyes, even coming back with some of the guys on the wing, the forwards, they were stopping him. No doubt. Yeah. Alvarez is tough. Reyes is a great right center defender. Alvarez, the right back that night. They were playing him tough. And here's the thing about Denis Bouanga. If you don't know Denis, if you're just finding this show and you're just finding LAFC and you're wondering, who's this Denis Bouanga guy? The Denis Bouanga you just heard in the 115th minute was blowing by defenders by then. Whether they were
he was not going to be denied.
No, I mean, and it wasn't just the 115th minute. I mean, really just about the Rodriguez goal. Everybody turned it up. They didn't hang their heads. And by then, here's the thing about Bouanga. He doesn't tire.
No.
I mean,
he was taking shots on goal. The ball was going out of bounds. He was going to run after the ball, getting the corner kick set up. He was just on fire. He was just determined that night. It was just incredible. And it was a lot of things happened that night, that were just a unique situation. There was people crying in the stands, more than one. I know we've seen a couple of those videos on IG, but there was just more than a few was crying in the stands. It was just unique environment there that you can't get at just any sporting event in LA. I'm not talking about just soccer. I'm talking about any sporting event, any arena in LA. This is something unique that you can't get. From the opening whistle, 32-52, right whenever the whistle blew to start the game, the drums came on and the fireworks went up and it was lit. The stadium was lit. But you know what? Club América on their thing too, on their side on the south end. They were also making noise. They had their banners. It was all yellow over there, like you said earlier, and it spread out even to the sides. So it took both teams to really create this environment, not only in the stands, but also on the pitch as well. And that's just a night that I'll never forget. And I think that is the most incredible feeling that BMO Stadium has had in its history. It was just amazing.
Well, it's certainly the most, it's the number one night game because we won MLS Cup on a day game, if everybody. So those are 1 and 1A. I mean, you can't really, you won an MLS Cup there during the, in a day game that we celebrated into the night. That was amazing the way that was the best MLS game in the history of MLS. I make no bones about that. And anybody who's smart enough to be at least neutral in their, loving of, whatever, loving other teams, they would even admit that was just the best game in the history of the league. This one was right up there, like a nighttime, beautiful, like perfect night.
So that MLS Cup game, that one was the best game I think that was ever, BMO
I would agree. This was more tense.
The environment, I'm talking about the environment, the energy in the stadium when it was going on. It was just electric, amazing. You couldn't help yourself.
This one was more about the MLS Cup game was so tense because you went to extra time, the way extra time played out, then penalties. But we were riding in a high, and the penalties, everybody remembers the MLS Cup, kind of went our way pretty quick. Like it was over. Yeah. 3 kicks, 3 saves, 3 misses for Philadelphia, 2 big saves from John McCarthy. I watched those highlights again this week, by the way, so I know this. And then of course LAFC missed the first PK. We were the first team to shoot, but then made 3 in a row and it was over. So as crazy tense as it was, in a weird way, we just got to celebrate much easier through PKs than they normally are. PKs are normally just awful. They're evil. And these weren't so bad, right? So even though the game was not, but I think this was more tense in the way of what you knew you were going to lose. You don't want to lose an MLS Cup, right? But you have another chance next year. Again, you don't want to lose it. It would have been awful, and it was for Philadelphia. I remember meeting up with a few fans several hours later, just running into just random fans that I didn't know at a restaurant. They were just so it was a miserable, but they have another shot next year. And you have other chances to qualify for this Club World Cup. It's a 4-year event now, this big, the way they're doing it, the World Cup type format. Yeah. So, oh my goodness, the tension, just to miss out on that, not knowing if you're ever going to get another chance, right? I mean, to really get to that, get to the Club World Cup, and it's, oh my goodness, just Mario. I mean, we've been talking about this tournament just about longer than anybody in this format. You and I on this show on Soccer Weekly back in the day when we used to do that on 710 ESPN, which is the home of LAFC. We know we made the Club World Cup, Mario. We are in, but what does that mean now for this club and for you?
Well, I mean, first, what I want to do is I want to talk about how big LAFC has been for Major League Soccer. I mean, since its short history, I mean, for MLS to add a powerhouse team like LAFC in a major market, right, like LA, and have them be in these top level, high stakes type matches is huge, and I think MLS has really, really benefited from the success of LAFC since day one, since those derby matches with the Galaxy very, very early on to the MLS Cup win we were talking about, the Supporters Shield wins, the US Open Cup win, CONCACAF Champions Cup finals that they've been in, and of course, this last game against Club América to get into the FIFA Club World Cup. MLS is benefiting so much from LAFC and their success. You got to give all the props, all the respect to Los Angeles Football Club, the whole entire organization from top to bottom for what they have done so far to make it into this FIFA Club World Cup in this short amount of history.
Yeah. And it's funny too, because, the people, the fans of the other teams who hate LAFC, that's fine. They always kind of bring up a lazy argument. Not always, but, you're just in a big market. You overspend. You do all the, you're just like, it's just this behemoth and you just buy everybody or whatever.
Not true.
I got news. Go check the salary caps. Go check how much teams are spending over the caps.
Right.
We are not like some behemoth juggernaut that's like spending so much more than everybody. Like, no, in fact, there's several teams that actually do have a higher, payroll, if you will. Doesn't mean LAFC doesn't go out and do exactly what they need to do to win, because the organization will and does. And John Thorrington knows he has that and knows he can go do what he needs to do and does. And it's just a great run organization. I'll be honest, I won't even say who I told this to, but you probably heard me on this show if you listen to the other 57 episodes. I've been around a lot of sports. Mario's been around a lot of sports. We've been around a lot of teams. This is the best run organization. Sorry, it is. I mean, look, there's some other great organizations in sports and in LA for that matter, but this is the best run organization, top to bottom, and it's just a great place to work, great place to to work for. They just keep doing it on the pitch. Mario's right. This is just a huge step up for LA, for not only for LA and for the rivalry against the Galaxy, but for MLS. Absolutely. Yeah. And what does it mean now for MLS? 3 teams are now into this tournament rather than 2. Okay.
The only league to have 3 teams in this tournament.
Nothing wrong with that, and I'll tell you what, it just gives you more opportunity. Yeah. Does it give you more opportunity maybe to, go out there and suffer defeat? Well, of course you got to go play great teams. Like this is not going to be a cakewalk, but it gives you more opportunity to do great things too, as a league even. And we've talked about it before. Even, we said this even before LAFC was playing in this match. I'm rooting for Seattle and Inter Miami unless they play LAFC in this tournament. I am. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not rooting for Seattle on most Saturdays, got to be honest, but I am for this tournament. And I make no bones about that. These are not teams that I hate, sports hate, right? Portland Timbers, maybe I couldn't, maybe I wouldn't root for that. But, and Derby, no, okay. But these teams, Seattle and Inter Miami, I'm rooting for them. I want the league to do well. I want the league, because people, who follow the league know this, but the better you do, it's just a little bit easier to go get that next guy to come. And it's not, I'm not talking Messi level or any, there's nobody, you know what I mean? I'm not talking Beckham. I mean, the good players, the Evanders, the Denis Bouanga, Lucho Acostas, guys like that, like to go and get young Argentines who've been flocking to this league. It's just a little bit easier if LAFC and Seattle and Inter Miami go to this tournament and play well. Now, again, what does that mean? It's a knockout tournament. Only one team wins, right? Bayern Munich could stub their toe in this tournament and be out easily. And it's like, well, what does that mean? Are they terrible? No, of course not. It's Bayern Munich, but only one team, but go and just play well, play hard, play well, represent, and just get it done. Just go have fun too. This has got to be fun, Mario. And I know you're ready for that. And I'm ready for that too. This is going to be a great time.
One of the things that really makes LAFC successful, especially as of late, is head coach Steve Cherundolo, because he's really good at making sure that the group is concentrated, and ready to go for the one game at hand, the next game on the schedule, because we know being at LAFC, you're going to be in a bunch of tournaments. You're going to be in more tournaments than some of the other teams in MLS.
True,
so Steve really knows how to get these guys going for the game at hand and putting the best starting 11 out there for that particular match and keeping the team above water or even up higher in the standings in each and every single one of the tournaments. You see them going deep into Leagues Cup finals. You see them going to CONCACAF finals. You see them going to US Open Cup, MLS. Yep. You see them in these FIFA Club World Cup play-in matches and winning. So that's Steve Cherundolo just navigating the roster, the schedule, just perfectly so that LAFC is in tip-top shape for the next 45 minutes.
Well, they have advanced into Group D of this Club World Cup. We're going to break that thing down, Group D, all our matches next week on this show in like minute detail, right? But we'll talk a little bit about it now because we just, qualified and everything. Chelsea is the first one up. How much fun is that? The June 16th. Yeah. So we're talking less than 2 weeks away. Esperance de Tunis comes up 4 days later on the 20th, and then Flamengo 4 days after that. The final game in Group D for LAFC. And just like in the World Cup, this Club World Cup, the final match is the third game in each group will be played at the same time. The other ones can be staggered, of course. They don't want to play games at the same time until the final days of each of these group stages. So there's going to be some weird kickoff times for Pacific, right? We're out in the Pacific time zone in LA. Most of the LAFC fans, although there are some fans back in my beautiful home state of Ohio who texted me after they won. They're black and gold now because they, do listen on the 710 app and all and we appreciate their support. And one of them, actually, I have friends back, and they were like, I'm trying to convince my husband now that we can go the same day we go down to Atlanta and we can still come back after the match. A little earlier kickoff for the game against Chelsea. Obviously, in Southern California, will be a noon kickoff, but it's still a 3 p.m. local in Atlanta, and they're on the East Coast or in the Eastern time zone. So they're like, we're trying to get to the game, fly down that morning, go to the LAFC match, and come home that night. So could be one of those kind of tournaments for some people. I know a lot of black and gold fans are going to make the trek down to the Southeast and be there for a while for all three matches, which is cool too. But these, Mario, can LAFC advance out of this group?
Oh, I mean, to start off with that match against Chelsea, that one, everybody's looking forward to that one. And even Olivier Giroud, he's really looking forward to that one. And I want to go back to Olivier because I think he's really peaking right now at the right time because I think the momentum is going towards a big goal from Olivier, the one that we've all been waiting for, just a big moment, kind of like the one that Gareth Bale had in the MLS Cup final. I think Olivier is really due for that, and I just kind of feel it coming. Maybe in this tournament, maybe it's against Chelsea, maybe it's further down the line. Who knows? Gosh. But the storyline is there for that game, so everybody loves that. And for LAFC to come out as one of the top two teams out of this group is not too far-fetched. So I'm feeling good about LAFC's chances getting into the knockout stages. And when you get into those knockout games, I really think that there is a good chance of just, hey, you know what? Anything can happen. A loose ball in the box, something like that. Uncleared, ball in the back line there. That's how those games go. They're so fickle, like we're talking about. So that's really a lot to look forward to if you're an LAFC fan. Just get out of that group stage and let's see what happens.
Yeah, I agree. And look, it's just, you can't even fathom or really comprehend playing these teams when it matters. And I'll tell you what, we see it in the transfer window that's now opened up. We see it with what these teams have planned. We see some of the moves they're making. They want this. There is a lot of money and pride on the line. And, I've never seen a team from Europe or South America, the Brazilian teams, adore this tournament. They always have. I've never seen a team go into the Club World Cup, Mario, even when it was the different format, and really play half-heartedly. Now, some of the fans in Europe don't really care about this tournament yet, but these teams have always played their guts out to win, and I've loved it. Yeah. But now it's just 10 times better. You're playing Chelsea when it counts. This isn't some friendly that you're hoping to just, get into shape, or they're more likely they're in their preseason, obviously coming over in the summer. And no, this is just when.
And to be there really at the beginning of this new format is just awesome for LAFC to be in there, because I really do think it's going to be successful. I really do think that it's going to catch the eyes of everybody, the interests of everybody around the world. Once this thing gets going, so many teams, so many really, really good teams, stars all over the place. So I really do think it's going to capture everybody. And just to have it here in the United States is awesome, for all the MLS teams as well. And to have the big players, Messi in there, and to have, Bawanga and some of the young guys on LAFC, for them to be able to showcase their talent, especially guys like Nathan Ordaz. I mean, actually, Nathan Ordaz actually has maybe some cool opportunities, plural, because he could be in the Gold Cup as well for El Salvador or the FIFA Club World Cup. I mean, he kind of has to have like a decision there because they're at the same time, right? But it's a good time for Nathan Ordaz, who's playing with a lot of confidence right now. And matter of fact, Nathan Ordaz. You missed
my question. You didn't answer my question, Ruiz. You're not ducking it. Can LAFC advance? Can they advance out of this group?
Oh, yeah. I said definitely they can be one of the top 2 teams out of this group for sure.
I just want to make sure I got that on record.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely said that. I definitely said I think they can be one of the top 2 for sure. I don't know if they can be the top 1, but one of the top 2, definitely a good chance for LAFC.
All right, I must have missed that. I'm sorry. I was so excited for hearing what you were saying about the teams and the experience, which I totally agree. And it is big for the players, just not more so obviously for the clubs and being a team together, but individually, I
was talking about Nathan Ordaz because Nathan Ordaz has that confidence, and but when I posted one of his answers on social media on ESPN LA account on my IG account, it kind of got. The comments were going back and forth between LAFC fans and Club América fans, because he was talking about how Club América needs to be the ones that look out for us, and I told him, I said, because my question was, what are some of the challenges you have going up against such a talented team? And he's like, no, they need to be worried about us coming for them. So the fans were going crazy on both sides in the comments. But that's the type of attitude you need from players, right? If you want to be a winner, if you want to be a champion, you want to be a killer, that's what you need. And he's a youngster with all that attitude and all that aura. I love it from Nathan Ordaz. And that's why he's gotten into this FIFA Club World Cup. He's playing well, and he's also on the El Salvador national team as well.
Yeah, we're going to be breaking down these matches coming up. Our next show next week. We obviously always, deliver these on Thursdays, the LAFC Plus. So we'll have all that action leading up to the 16th of June, that first game for LAFC. It is going to be just ridiculous. What is that, a Monday even? Holy cow, that is just insane. It's going to be like noon on Monday in LA. Just that is awesome. I can't wait. Obviously, that game will be in Atlanta. The second match goes to Nashville for LAFC against Esperance de Tunis at Geodis Park, of course, the home of Nashville SC. And then they'll be down in Orlando to take on Flamengo. That's going to be a home match for Flamengo. The Brazilians are going to come out and cheer on that team. That is a massive club. It's one of the biggest in the world in terms of fandom, and everything. Just huge numbers of fans for Flamengo all over the planet. They are going to be in Orlando. You can bet it on that on June 24th. Yeah, that's going to be sick and so much fun. Oh, by the way, here's the thing. Can't disparage this match. 3 points on the weekend coming up Sunday are available in MLS, and we need all of them.
I thought you were going to say, by the way, the Galaxy got their first win of the season.
Oh, yeah, they got that thing. Yeah, whatever.
We're talking about, LAFC's next game. Gotcha. Let's go.
Yeah, no, more importantly, LAFC. We do have an MLS game before the Club World Cup craziness, which is kind of good, I think. It's good for me because I'd be going insane if I had to wait this long for the Club World Cup. It's a weird situation anyway. It's not like we knew we were going 4 months ago or 6 months ago or whatever, right? So it's all happening fast. I'm glad we have a match coming up Sunday against Sporting Kansas City at BMO. Calm down a bit. Very big match in terms of MLS. Come out. You got plenty of time.
No. Don't calm down. Just keep it going. Keep that momentum going.
All I'm saying is you got to play level-headed because it's a big match. Yeah. Don't look ahead. Calm, because you got plenty of time then for Chelsea. That's still, even after this match, it's 8 days past.
That's true. Yeah.
So plenty of time to kind of settle in. You'll be going off, LAFC's training camp will be at Mercer University. So that's where their base is for this. That's so cool. For the group stage, they have a base camp. How great is that? It's going to be in Georgia, at Mercer. Mercer was so pumped that they were picked to be the LAFC base camp. They had the black and gold flags. Everybody's freaking out at the in the area. It's just a small area. That's great.
Yeah,
but you've got plenty of time for that. We got to turn our attention now to Sporting Kansas City on Sunday. Because SKC has improved since moving on from Peter Vermees. They're playing better. Daniel Shalaway is kind of revitalized. We know how difficult he can be. He's been a pain in the neck to LAFC for years and a good player. Yes, they're 8-4, so they're still they got a long way to go, but they were in a deep hole to start this season, Mario, and they've turned that around.
Yeah, LAFC have a big opportunity right here to climb up the Western Conference table because obviously the Western Conference table is priority for Cherundolo and LAFC. So before heading to that FIFA Club World Cup, 3 more points at home would be huge, and obviously to keep that momentum going, 9 games unbeaten so far in all competitions for LAFC. Keep that going, make it 10, make it 10 right before Chelsea. That would be a sweet rounded off number right there. And they're going for the season sweep because they already beat KC over at Children's Mercy Park. There was no Bouanga in that match. Bouanga will be ready for this match. But if you remember, David Martinez had a great goal against them, and he will not be available for this one because he is with Venezuela for international duty. But yeah, not too many players away on international duty for LAFC. Just Nathan Ordaz and David Martinez, 2 big players for LAFC's attack. But still, you have a deep roster. You have a deep enough roster where you can, get guys in there that are more than ready, more than talented enough to get the job done on Sunday against Sporting KC. But KC, yeah, they've been playing well. 4 matches unbeaten lately. And Joveljic is a dangerous player, Dave.
Yeah, red hot.
He doesn't need very many chances, right? He can kind of be missing in the whole entire match and get one chance and put it in the back of the net. He's a finisher, Dave.
Well, when he was with the Galaxy during those derbies, it seemed like that was the case. He only got one chance and he had 1 goal. It just inevitable.
He was a killer.
Yeah, it just seemed like he knows how to finish. There's no doubt about that. You knew he would eventually, even with a bad team, he's going to get goals. Now that Sporting Kansas City's kind of, as Mario said, turning it around, unbeaten in 4, 3 draws out of that, but they only have 1 loss in the last 6 with 2 wins and 3 draws. They're improving. They're a tougher team. And realistically, they're getting better defensively, but they're also much better offensively. They were struggling. They just couldn't get any attack going, early.
They have a really good attack right now with Joveljic in the middle.
Much better.
And then Tommy on one side. And then
2-0 win
Shalaway on the other side. Yeah.
That 2-0 win we had there was one of the most dominant road wins you can get in them. It was just so one-sided. They had nothing offensively. I expect them to play much better at BMO coming up on Sunday. They're going to be much more dangerous. And even for them, they still don't have much to lose in a sense. It's we talk about it a lot. It's their MLS Cup coming into LA to take on LAFC, right? And try to get a win against the black and gold and really kind of, give LAFC a miserable send-off in a sense, we'll turn the page from it to go to the Club World Cup, but you want to be going into the Club World Cup and continuing that high. Mario, you alluded to it. You're right. You do want to.
I see a lot of people already talking about, LAFC are overlooking this match here, the final match before heading, to Atlanta. I don't feel that way. They're not overlooking this match. Toronto, like I said, hasn't focused on this one. They want to continue this party, this feel, keep it going from last week into this Sunday. The fans know that they want to send the boys off with a win. The fans also know that they probably won't see the black and gold at BMO Stadium for probably a few weeks, maybe to the end of the month. Or maybe even past that if LAFC keep going forward, So the fans, they're not going to see the black and gold at BMO for a while. So they want to show up and show out as well. It should be another fun environment for the fans in the stands and on the pitch for LAFC. Let's go out and get the 3 points, fellas. Give the fans what they want and get into that FIFA Club World Cup feeling good with 10 matches unbeaten. Why not?
Yeah, I'd love to see a nice, tight, tough match, too. Give us a test, let's hope. And I do believe Sporting Kansas City can provide that.
They can.
They couldn't earlier in the season. but now they can. Yeah, I agree with Mario.
Yes.
It is going to be a tough test. You can hear it 5:30 Pacific on Sunday afternoon for the airtime for the pregame on the ESPN LA app only on Sunday because of the NBA Finals. ESPN LA app is great. Download that, the 710 ESPN LA app. It is so easy to use, and you can hear every match there. And, of course, the home of the ESPN, home of LAFC in LA is ESPN, 710 ESPN on the AM dial. We'll get back to that after this match. This is an ESPN LA app-only game coming up 5:30 Pacific for the pregame.
And you know, one of the good things about the app is that you could just take it wherever you want. So if you're in the car and you have it on the app, it's crystal clear, you know, and then all of a sudden you get to your destination, you get to the driveway, you get home, you get out the car, you still have the app on your phone and you continue to listen to it. You go inside, you turn on the TV and you have the Dave Denholm play-by-play call along with the TV going on. That's the way to do it. That's the best way to do it. That's the way to do it right there. And actually, for the home games, you know, some people know about this, some people don't know about this. For the home games, if you're watching it on Apple TV, there's an option there on Apple TV. You click on the bottom right there. There's a little circle there. You press that button, and you have the option to listen to the home radio play-by-play call, which is really cool. Once again, go to the Apple TV. You're watching the game. Press that button on the bottom right, and it'll give you the option to listen to the home radio play-by-play call, which is the ESPN LA call with LAFC's very own Dave Denholm on the play-by-play. So make sure you check that out.
Yeah, I must admit, when we don't have matches on a certain day, let's say we play on this Sunday, there'll be some games on Saturday. You know, if that happens in the regular season or we play Saturday, Sunday matches, I am clicking on that radio button a lot just to hear what, you know, some of the home radio. Yeah,
I love that. We're radio nerds, so we want to listen to the home radio guys from all over the country.
Yeah, awesome. A lot of great calls, a lot of great people out there doing the game, so appreciate their efforts too. Great stuff, Mario. Episode 58. We're going to the Club World Cup, baby. I can't believe it, but I can because LAFC just keeps on performing. And Mario, we're going. What a great episode. Take us out of here, brother. I can't wait to talk about these matches again next week.
Yeah, and we'll be on the lookout for your comments on the YouTube page, on the LAFC YouTube page. Make sure you check out this episode and comment there. Your celebration stories from the LAFC win over Club América. We'll be picking a winner soon, so we'll see you there. If not, we'll see you at BMO Stadium or on the ESPN LA app. All right, peace.